Next, on the Boardroom. Darnell Smith presents his video billboard design for advice and perhaps an investment.
Yeah, my name is Darnell Smith. I'm an ex-robotics engineer. A little bit. I'll tell you a little story before I tell you about this. But I'm a paid inventor for Black & Decker and Bell Labs and places like that. I have about 11 patents. I did the Snake Light, VersaPack. All those are all my patents. The 18-volt drill, the chargers, they're all mine. I got $1. So for like 11 years I worked for Black & Decker, and I got tired of it, doing chargers and charges and charges, just sick of it. And I decided if I ever have a big accident, I'm leaving. And I had this massive accident, traveling 100 miles a day, so excuse me, just getting over pneumonia. So I put my resume on monster.com, and I wound up at Bell Labs. And then about 2 years later, Enron got hold of everything, and I had home, cars, marriage, the whole 9 yards. I lost it all. I got divorced. I lost the houses. I lost the cars. I went homeless, actually. And in the meantime, I was doing web development on the side. I was there when it started. I was a game writer as a kid. I was always into electronics, technology. So that sort of kept me alive, but I stayed in somebody's house, and they kept me like a baby. They gave me a little allowance. They let me drive their car. I took care of them because they were crippled, so I took them around, whatever. I went real down. And then my daughter, who's in the military in Iraq, came home and sort of slapped me out of it. And I got up. I went to the barber shop to get my hair cut, to go look for jobs, and I saw they had a TV in the wall, and it had no sound. And nobody read anything, whatever, and I was thinking, man, if I had my resume on that display, I'd probably get myself a job. So 2 days later, I invented this thing. I called it A to Z Mini Billboards. And since I didn't have a job, and I only had $12 in my pocket, the business model that was developed was so that I could create a system that people could do themselves and then have a job that they can never be fired from. Okay? And you're gonna cry. The guy who helped me, he died before he saw it. Okay, hold on. Anyway, I perfected it, and then the job hired me back. Okay, so I sort of set it on the shelf for a minute, and then they laid me off again after they were bought a couple of times, and I was really in the dumps. So I went and really perfected it. Worked with the software a lot because I'm a software engineer. I'm also an electrical engineer too, and I put it out in the field, more of a like a Facebook kind of thing, so people could get into the business, to start their business. And I modeled the business model for me to make money off of actually Metro PCS is what I did. So what happened was when they got my software and hardware and put it in the field to open up their own digital billboard business, for every billboard that's out there, they paid me $25 a month to keep it alive. Okay, much like the Metro PCS, but at a different price. If they didn't pay, the system shuts itself down anyway, and it goes to become mine. So they're already in location. So if they don't pay, they revert back to my business, and then I sell advertisement into those systems. So I started to publicize it myself. It's only one person, just me. I wrote the software, hardware design, everything. And last year, I guess a year and a half ago, I sort of tried to make it public, open up a business to do it, and it went to 23 states immediately. But it went there because I was homeless. It wasn't more of a, they wanted to hear that story versus this sort of. So I got on TV shows and different things like that. But the model was really, really good. I have many people who have quit their jobs. They make a whole lot more money than I do, because just like her, I was technical. I'm highly technical. I do all the back end. I do the systems. I've automated everything. I don't have any overhead. My overhead in this whole business is $46 a year because I have 156 servers of my own as a web developer in general. So I've developed the hardware and software around the web per se. Okay, but what I have a problem with is managing those people out there because I'm so busy doing this stuff. I don't have the people to manage the people to manage people who are in the business, who are buying software and hardware and paying me the monthlies and managing the systems that are down and all that kind of stuff. I stay behind the scenes. So what I'm actually here today is to answer questions on how to go from this to that. It's more like a cell phone company. Like I'm like the AT&T, and these are like little cell phones out there. And once they get out in the field, there's two valuable pieces of property. The first one is once the system's out and the people are making money on their own, this becomes like a television channel that's ungoverned by the government. It's internet based. Okay, I can send microfeeds of video, audio, new media to these systems. So I basically have a television channel that's untapped, or a station network that I can control back home. And I can send stuff anywhere. The same time, because I had it in the field quite a bit, I modeled the system so it didn't cost them anything. They basically put the systems out, it maybe cost about $1,000, but I modeled the system so that this side, they got themselves a sponsor that paid literally for what they paid for the system. So now all they're doing is worrying about sales, and they're $25 a month back to me. Okay, so the model worked very well. It's just I never could manage it because I'm so busy managing the system of things. The other thing is I did two types of business models. The other one was that I didn't take any money. I let people put the machines out there, all over the place. And I basically took this side of the display. Just like a website. When you put up a website, you'll get free websites if you let someone put a banner on your website. So I think of it like that. These systems are out in barbershops, beauty salons, all over the place, and I get to have this area, but the people are maintaining it. So I basically, as a system or as a company, can sell advertisement to all those machines that are all over the nation, in an untethered way, because I'm controlling that side. And they don't pay me anything. I don't pay them anything. It's sort of a sharing. What I'm here today for is I'm tired of that. I already know it works, and I've had offers of actually millions before I got going, but money wasn't my God. But I think what I'm trying to do now is I want to do my own network locally. I want to put these systems in 50 to 100 barbershops and beauty salons. That's where I want to start, because that's where a set of people, it's not just one set of people, it's many types of people that go to barbershops and beauty salons, and they're stuck. And I've had these in those systems before. And then I want to do them in doctor's offices. And then the reason why I want to do that is I want to make a channel of digital systems that I can then sell advertisement into. I'm a marketer. To sell advertisement into specific locations that's untethered by ABC, CBS, any of that, because it's through the internet. It's almost like a Facebook, but in reality. You can't really stop it because it goes through the internet. You can't stop the internet. And that's what I'm actually here today to say, and then get advice on how to get to that point. That's it.
Where are you at right now? How many TVs or how many sets are out there?
Probably, I think 358 of them.
And so how much money are you making?
Not much. About $500 a month. A lot of them have went to the free model, so they're not paying anything. And I'm sort of like I'm the worst person to tell me that you're not doing well, because I'll instantly say, okay, no problem, don't pay.
Are you making money through advertising now?
Yes, a very little. I just started doing that this year.
Okay,
So I'm very new. I mean, it's very, very new with any money models at all. And so I'm coming here to start to find that.
I've seen this in front of urinals in restrooms.
Yeah.
Is it the same thing?
Yes.
So it's not you? You don't?
Maybe. I've had people download my software and they pay $50 to just get in the system. I don't know where they are. I don't really care. And they just pay me to keep them alive. So, and I did this back in, I think, 2006. And there's some people that are private. So I really have a lot of systems out there and no money really coming in. If I really were to shut them off, I probably could do that, but I can't do it. I need other people to do that.
What are you doing for a living now?
I'm one of the biggest web developers in Texas.
So you're making good money web developing?
Yes.
Why do you want to do this?
Because I'm an inventor. I mean, I always come up with stuff. I think this is a good idea. And I also think that the bigger thing is I think it's a great system for people to go in their own business. I believe in you should own your own business because of my problems, but it has a really high return. So the people that are in the business, they've stopped their jobs, doing this. I mean, I have a 75-year-old guy who bought his first machine, and I'm a teacher. I teach, twice a week in technology. And he couldn't even use a mouse. So now, after like 2 heart attacks, him and his son didn't even speak. They have about 16 machines. They work together. His son is like a vinyl sign guy. His son does all the sign work, and then the father does all the sales work. And that's what they do for business. And I think I need to really follow my own model and use my own stuff to make my own money if I really wanted to do it well.
Okay, Dave, you want to start off with the questions?
Well, I'm a little bit confused. I'm still trying to understand your business model, so
okay.
You may have to simplify it for me because I'm just not
Oh, it's
techie
okay.
oriented. But if you got 358 TVs out, and it's only making you $500 a month, then I don't see. That's what you have. Where do you want to take it to? So help me understand what you would expect in your business model for 358 TVs to be generating for you.
Well, most of those people decided not to pay anything. Okay, so that's why I don't make money off of those. They went to the free model. When I first started, I was getting quite a bit, and I changed it into a free model because I was starting to get problems with people paying. So I just changed the model.
Well, how do you benefit from a free model?
Because I'm a marketer. So I sell advertisements into these, but I just started doing that this year. I just turned the model into free this year. So right now, I basically have 300 TVs that I can sell advertisement into across the states. But I haven't started. I just started doing that. But what I'm trying to do to generate more income is to do my own network. Instead of having other people have their networks, I want to have my own network here that is, strictly I'm really shooting for barbershops and beauty salons because there's so many people that just congregate, they can't move, they can't leave. And those are the kind of places I'm looking for because I've had them here. I have them here in Dallas now. And those are the places that work real well. The places where people are sitting there getting a service and they can't go anywhere. So it's better for the clients when they have ads there.
So when you say I want my own network, so what kind of monies are you looking for and to finance what?
Well, the monies I'm looking for is to finance putting the machines into place. I want to do about 50 machines in the barbershops, about $1,000 per set is what it is. And then after those machines are in place, I'm going after the sponsors for each one of the machines at $750 or $1,000 per machine to get those back. And then and then once that is paid for, or the cost is paid for, the machines basically belong to me. And now I can sell into the other side without an overhead of the machine itself. But that capital to put those machines in place is where I get stuck. Because I've done this all by myself. Selling them, I'm an internet guy, so I sell them over the internet, and I have machines out there. They have the money. I didn't have the money. They bought the machines and set them in place.
What keeps the machine from walking out the door?
Well, they themselves own it. I mean, it's mounted.
In your business model?
In my business model,
Yeah.
I mean, they're going to be mounted too.
Mm-hmm.
The system's about the size of 2 CD cases. I don't have a real one here. I have a one I carry. But it gets mounted actually on the wall in a bracket that's behind the television.
I've seen this in elevators. Is that you?
That's possible. The problem is I don't know. I mean, it would take me a long time to figure out where they are. I know where they are in states, but I don't literally ask them where they have them put, if you know what I'm saying. I see them as just node connections on my system. I don't know where they really physically are. They already have their own business model, so basically when they buy this system, they build a network of their own. I build them a website to put them in business and how they can sell and take money. So I make them a complete business and then set them up, train them, and off they go. And I just want the money that comes from each one of the machines. So they can put them wherever. Sometimes they move them. I mean, they have them here in Harwood 609, a couple of the restaurants here. One did get stolen, by the way. They both kind of took this display and everything. They didn't know what the machine was. They thought it was like a cable box.
You said you modeled this after Metro PCS, but your model's not working if you're only making $500 a month.
Right, because that's the problem. I don't follow through on like taking the money each month and all this. I don't have that infrastructure per se. I have the system stuff. I don't have the person on this side that handles, you know, the money coming in and out and billing and all that other kind of stuff.
But you have it contractually, do you have something in place
Yes.
that would enforce
Yes, I
the
do.
ability of collection?
Yes, I do. And I also have it digitally. So in a nutshell, these systems are always shutting down in 30 days electronically. So if they don't pay, the system's shut off. And they revert back to A to Z. The ads stop their ads and my ads go up. So they sort of pay because it's not working anymore. You know, I sort of designed it that way, but I don't have really enforcement for someone to call and, you know, to really be on them and stuff like that. They might call me saying they can't control their ads. Well, of course, you never paid your bill. You know, then they pay me, then I'll turn it back on. But I don't have that infrastructure. I'm a one-man, like she was, I'm just a one-person thing here. And what I'm trying to figure out is how to get from being the one person and stopping myself at this point and growing much bigger with someone else to help me.
What's the ideal model? How many screens do you get out there and how much advertising do you sell? And do the viewers see the ads in the barber shop, the beauty shop, or do they see them on the internet?
They see them in both places. In one instance, they see them literally at the location, physically, which gives the people the paper feel. You know, they have something in paper, but it's digital, just like you see the digital billboards out on the highway, except for indoors. Then the second part is that once they go here, it goes viral into the social markets that are connected to the systems, and they're localized. So if this system is in downtown Dallas, I have these small versions of those ads going to areas on the internet that are localized to downtown Dallas.
I honestly don't understand the advertising market in great depth, so maybe
Okay.
that's where the problem is.
Do you understand the digital billboards and how they work outside?
Well, technically I understand how they work. I'm not exactly sure who owns the billboard,
Clear Channel.
who's selling the advertising. I understand there are people paying to have their ads come
Right,
up.
$1,200 a week. They charge $1,200 a week for
Who is they? The ones
Clear
that
Channel. The big digital ad billboards you see outside, they're most 99% owned by Clear Channel.
Like Clear Channel.
They own the market, and they don't let other people get into the business.
And Clear Channel, let's just stick with this.
Mm-hmm.
Clear Channel owns the physical
Yes,
screen
yes,
and the billboard.
yes.
And
And they rent the
control it?
space. They rent the space on the pole. They literally own everything,
Okay,
and they control the market. You buy from Clear Channel or from Clear Channel reps.
okay.
But
Well,
that screen out there costs what?
$250,000.
Okay, now we're talking numbers.
right.
But these are not outdoors. These screens cost about $500
So you want to do the same thing
indoors.
they're doing, except in indoors and to people who are captive. I guess we're captive in our
Right.
cars, so we have to see the things
Exactly.
on the road. But But for some reason, you've identified beauty shops and barber shops by the nature of them being captive.
Right, because I have so many machines out there, and I watch who succeeds and who fails. Like they call me and say, I just can't get a sale, whatever, whatever. And it seems like barbershops, beauty salons, doctor's offices, tire changing places are really good.
Yeah.
Those places where you got to sit and you cannot do anything but sit there.
Okay. So in your model, would you physically have to purchase the monitor that is shown on?
Yes, most of the time, yes.
Okay.
Some of them you don't. You just go like to a sports bar. There's a lot of them with sports bars. You just take one of their displays out of their 10 that they have,
Okay.
hook the hardware up, connect to the internet, and then you're in business.
And all right, let's take that one. So
Mhm.
there's a monitor there, and you're going to put your stuff on it.
Right.
Clearly, the bar owns the monitor.
Yes.
Who's paying who to do? Is the bar getting a cut of the action for the advertising?
They do when you only have one. But I have experience in the models. When you have more than one machine, they normally don't care about the money. They want to be in the other machines. They want their ads in all the other machines that you own.
I have 3 questions. You say it goes on Facebook. Whose Facebook? Yours or particular people? That's question
Okay.
1. Question 2, do your business plan already lined up, like at least planned out what you're going to do with this thing in the next 5 years? Do you have a step-by-step roadmap to reach your goal for the next 5 years? And number 3, what's the $25 a month or a day, a week?
A month.
A month, thank you.
The last question first was a month. I had 12 bucks in my pocket when I did this, but it doubled it. It was a number.
Okay.
Didn't mean much.
So the Facebook?
The Facebook thing, each one of the people who buy these machines, the model was the people got in business for themselves. So when they bought this machine or the system and they put their systems out, they started their own networks of Facebook. The system's designed for each one of the machines as a tether of MRSS to go to Facebook. So any one of these machines can go to a direct Facebook channel. So as they're going up, it produces multiples of itself and goes directly to their channels that they produce. And what we try to help them is to make channels that are local to their own area, so that they are collecting local people, so that this might be in a local barbershop. So it makes sense to go into the local market. And then I tied it also into, I have an SMS market engine also, so I put with this, I own hardware for that. So the systems go directly to the cell phones.
Okay, so the next question is your business plan, your game plan. As this is little piece of paper say, what this one to do from A to B?
I have a business plan that is only 1 year. I don't have it with me either. I didn't know I need that either, but
So what is that the 1 year like?
it's my 1 year, which needs to totally change because I'm changing. I had modeled the first business plan so that I would get the $25 per machine. Okay, much like this. But I've changed the model to own my own network. So the business plan I have is not up to that,
Okay,
up to what I want to do right now.
Kind of outdated, in other words.
It's not, yes.
So you don't have an updated
No.
plan for the next 5 years?
No, I don't.
Okay, thank you.
Darnell, you got a lot of patience and apparently a lot of creativity as well. But I think that there's something that most of us seem to agree with thus far, and you're not a pricing guy.
Yes, that's true.
If you've got 350 units out there now that are bringing you $500 a month, and you're looking to buy 50 units at $1,000 a piece, that's $50,000. There's very, very small incremental revenue that's going to get you going from 350, 360 machines to 410. Wouldn't buy dinner for us tonight.
Right. Except for the model, those machines are not paid for. They don't pay me for those. The ones I wanted for
Which
myself.
machines do they not pay for? The 350.
The ones that are out. The ones that are out. I modeled them so that I could advertise into their units.
So you own those machines.
I own that space. I don't own the machine. They own the machine. I own this space that I haven't yet started to advertise for. I just started that. This space right here. This is like
Which is what, 25% of the screen?
Yes.
Okay.
And what happens is when this changes, sometimes this plays music, sometimes this plays video. There's no ads here, so this becomes prime real estate at that moment. because some places use it as a sort of a jukebox. So instead of them putting ads in, they tie it to a media server for music. So this just plays music, and this becomes the ad space. But this month, actually the end of last month, I decided that I want to do, I want to actually own my own, so I can actually charge for the space inside instead of getting ad space out there, because that's just not working for me.
I go to New York 4 or 5 times a year usually, and I don't use taxi cabs there very often. I'll use a car service, but on occasion I will use a taxi cab, and almost all of them have a 9-inch screen back there, and the passenger has the option to silence it or turn it off. Does the client in the barber shop or the beauty salon have that option to turn it off, or?
They can, but I can see it. I mean, it tells me immediately when they turn it off, or if the monitor's not running, or if it's not powered. I can literally turn them on if they turn them off, actually.
Way to turn it off.
Well, what prevents them from taking the whole thing off the wall and screw it and shove it aside to the side?
Well, because they signed what's called a liability waiver.
Okay.
So that waiver, my partner is a lawyer, actually. Well, she's my best friend, so she helped me with a lot of that stuff. But the liability waiver, once they put these machines in place, there's 2 things. If I own it, then that liability says that when it's on the wall, I own it, they can't remove it, even if this place goes down. It happened twice, actually. One place was condemned, I had to go in there with my paper and get my stuff out. So if they kill it, I mean, they owe me the money, for the machine. But in these models, most of the time they own the machine. So when they buy them, and I don't own it at all. They can throw it in the trash as long as they want to. They've already paid for it. They own it. I'm basically, it's like buying a cell phone off of, Craigslist or something. You buy it, but you can't run it unless it's connected to a network. I'm the network. So it's useless to them without it. They can just use it as a computer.
Up to Greg.
Yeah, so they buy it from you, or are they now making money off of your ads?
No, they make money off their own ads. So once they put it in place, they are now their own digital billboard advertiser. So they sell ads into this space.
Okay.
I sell ads into that space.
So who would own it in a barber shop? The barber, potentially?
If they were the ones that were buying it.
Okay, so let's say they bought it. It's going to be in their shop, so nobody else ought to care about buying it. What ads are going to be run on that?
It's determined by the owner.
Okay.
So.
And is he selling those ads? Okay, so now, and what percentage of that are you getting?
I get $25 a month per machine.
Per machine, that's it. You don't get a cut of.
I don't get a commission of the ads.
Could you get a percent of that commission?
I could. When I first started it, I did that, and it was.
But you weren't following up with getting
I wasn't
paid.
following up, and that was pretty
Once
good.
you have control of the network you're talking about, then
I control the network.
Right, because it seems to me you could set things up. Couldn't you set things up to where they would, have to pay by credit card, PayPal, or otherwise?
They do.
Right there, and if they don't, the thing goes off?
In actuality, it works like that now. They basically subscribe to their system, and if they don't pay or the card stops, the system counts itself down on the 5th day of the month, and it stops working. This will say powered by A to Z, and now my ads start showing up. It's sort of already digital, but then people would call me and say, I got, give me these sob stories.
So your ads start showing up and you start making more money when that happens?
Yes.
If you sold ads.
If I sold the ads, which I just started this month.
Okay, and you would always have that 25% of the screen?
Yes.
Whether it was down or not?
That's correct.
Right.
I just want them to put it up. If they can get it up, it becomes real estate for me.
I think you're onto something. I think you're in a transition with all your pricing and payment enforcement. But yeah, I'm a patent lawyer, but I'm not going to talk to you about that since you've already gotten a bunch of patents. You probably know.
Well, the only thing I did here is, in a nutshell, because I invent so much for companies, I'm modeled to invent things that already exist. I don't like reinventing something. So I used everything that exists. The only thing that is different here is the model and the software. I mean, I've copyrighted the software.
Yeah.
But anybody like me can look at something in minutes and I can copy it.
Right.
So, I mean, I can just
Right.
tweak it a little bit. So it's more about the marketing and getting it out there, basically like her. I mean, somebody can copy you. I mean, they can copy you. But you got to beat the market and make your money while you can.
This working at Dillard's?
It will. It would, actually.
I was just going to say, honey, we're going to talk.
The thing I do have for me is I am one of the largest web developers here. I have about 4,000 clients, 156 servers in two countries, actually. And I do have about 4 million email contacts. So I can make anybody know anything about something at a touch. Okay? It doesn't matter what it is. Okay? The thing is, I don't do that because I don't have the infrastructure to manage it, if you know what I'm saying. So if I get a million orders today, I hurt myself. And I've gotten like one person ordered 10.
What is this question, Terry? John?
What size monitors does $1,000 get?
Well, big monitor now. The $2,000 now for 80-inch each screen, 80-inch. But it's too big.
You're talking a $1,000 machine. What size is that?
That is 36 to 42 inch because they're $400.
And if I own a barber shop and you're going to put that in, what am I going to get as the
Well,
barber?
as one machine, they'll get advertisement on all the other network that I have. And if they didn't want that, I would give them a commission from each one of the ads that sold. And there's a 10% thing right now that works pretty well for most places.
Guys, this is just out of my realm, but I will tell you from just my little world of advertising that we do for Fastbuck, which we have over $1 million budget a year. Advertising is as good as you can track it. And Jay Rogers asked you earlier, you know, how do you track the response? I would suggest to you, as you go into securing your own and procuring your own advertising, you should use promo codes and even texting. That way you get immediate response. You know this better than I, but people respond to texting within 9 seconds. You would get immediate feedback, and you could tweak as a web developer back, which is your strength. And the greater facts that you would have to show response, the easier it would be to sell more advertising.
Okay.
Well, you've got 350 units out now. You tell me you can shut them all down and put them out of business tomorrow. I believe I'd tell them, boys, the free days are over. It's back to $25 a pop, and that makes you $8,750 a month, and that's more than you've been making for a while. And you pull that money in and put a little of it in the bank, and then when you get ready to make your next move, you've got some bucks. I don't know why you're doing all these great things that don't make any damn money. So all you do is tell them, hey, free days are over. If you want to stay on this program, you're making all this great money. I've given you this great system. It costs you $25 a month. That's $8,750 a month. You got income. You can afford to hire a clerk to collect it, take care of the credit cards. You're just playing around right now. I'm done.
Well, I don't remember who said it, but I'm going to echo that. I think you're onto something. I'm just not exactly sure what it is. You're building a platform for a platform that feels like it has the ability to make a lot of money. But you need, my advice to you is that you need to link up, because it's not in your character to focus on the money side of things. You need a partner, using the term loosely, that helps you see how to monetize this platform. And I think you already realize that monetizing it is not your strength. In fact, you seem to be averse to the concept of making money, which that comes from some place which is none of my business. But if you now want to make money, you need to recognize where your strengths are and then complement them with the other strengths that are needed in a business that makes money. And I think that's the. I'm an engineer. I've got patents. I've invented things. I know all the good feelings that come with all of that and all the positives. But I also had a business and understood how to make money out of it and this kind of stuff. You seemed way strong in one part of it, but and I won't say you're weak. I would just say you're missing another part of it. And for you to do this business, which when you started out, I didn't understand anything about it. Now I'm understanding a little bit. So maybe it is a matter of just really understanding what opportunities you're building here. But you really need a partner in some form that helps you see how to monetize that. That's my primary advice.
I'm going to give you advice on two fronts. First of all would be presentation, and then the business in and of itself. Please go back and watch this video if you want to present to investors. Watch the video, listen to what we all had to say. I thought I knew what you did when we started, and the more you talked, the less I felt like I understood what you were saying. You lost me completely as an investor when you said that you're the biggest web developer in Texas or whatever it was, because as an investor, I want you 100% dedicated to what I'm going to invest money in. And since you're here to pitch that, I immediately said this is just kind of a sideline for you. I'm not going to have 100% of your attention. And again, as an investor, you did lose me there. I would highly recommend, I believe I heard you say that you've been offered $1 million for it. I'd take it and run immediately. So I do suggest entrepreneurs pick one thing that they're doing really well, stay on that one thing until it does well without you. And I don't know if you're at that stage or not. So let's just talk about then the business. I have 60 retail locations, so I feel like I get a handle on this. I can't imagine letting you into any of my stores for what you're talking about, because I'm not going to make enough money on the advertising. You're not advertising enough places that I want to put my ads on you. But where you would have a huge value for me is if you came in and said, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put these TVs in all of your locations. I'm going to create a marketing piece for you. And I'm going to show that marketing piece every 2 minutes, and the other 2 minutes is going to be TV or entertainment, something that's going to grab the customer's attention. So people in my stores, first of all, if they're standing around waiting for a haircut or they're waiting to take out a loan, they want something to occupy their time. So are they watching, is there a news piece or is there something on there? And then I want my commercials coming up regularly. If you came into me with a package that said, I'm going to develop your piece, I'll put TV on sometimes, it'll be your commercials and only your commercials, and here's your fee, I'd be there in a heartbeat and you would have me. But I can't imagine how I would put this in my stores to advertise somebody else to get pennies off of it. It's going to take more in my own electricity into powering it. The last thing I'll say, if you do have 400 clients, we can utilize that database to make us both a heck of a lot of money, and I have the background to handle all the customers, do some loan emails for us, and we'll make a fortune.
3 things I want to say. First thing, raise the price. Don't sell it cheap. And I think your price is too low, $25 a month for such a quality thing. When you sell cheap, all you will get is cheap client. Cheap client doesn't pay much and doesn't do much, and the kind of client wouldn't even buy anything. So you get lower and lower and lower in quality. You want to have a high-end client. That's one thing. Number 2 thing, your business plan is very important. Even though you might not have the business plan that the investor looking for, but at least for yourself. You know, if I wake up tomorrow morning and 8 o'clock in the morning, I know exactly what I'm going to do, 8:30, 8:15, 8:45, and 9 o'clock on the dot. That kind of game plan for your business. If you're going to say, I'm going to do this, I'm going to take this and run, you go ahead and make some kind of roadmap, at least for 1 year, 12 months, and look at it in quarterly basis, cut it in 3 pieces, and then take those 3 pieces, cut them into one, each month, and have a little step by step. Make it into digestible pieces, and look at it and say, wow, looking ahead of time, this is not going to do. And you should change it. You should look at it and review your game plan. As a practice right now on a daily basis, go ahead and practice writing a 12-month game plan. And then look at each one by the quarterly basis and look at each one by monthly basis as well as weekly to a daily basis till you can practice getting yourself into a line with you and your game plan. Then you may end up getting into writing a nice business plan for this gentleman here. Number 3 advice, if you can pitch to guys like this who have millions of dollars to invest into your pocket, don't talk about your family. You spend about half of the time talking about you, personal thing, homeless. Homeless is the last thing you need to tell investor. I was a homeless. I'm sorry. Should stay focused on the business subject and take the personal subject out of it. No matter how much pain you've gone through, you might have died tomorrow. You don't need to tell these guys. You just go ahead and tell them, I had this awesome product here. I'm going to knock your socks off. I'm going to kill you with, a nice game plan here for you. That's what I mean.
I'll take the pain for him on that one because I told him to do that.
Yeah, different way. Thank you.
I'm a believer in the fact that you need a partner, you need someone to sell the advertising. What you've got there is a delivery device as I see it, and it's routine, it's common, it's not necessarily state of the art. It is relatively unique, and there might be some good positioning out there. But I see you really as selling advertising, and if you're going to get a partner or if you're going to get funds, I think you need to get someone that is good at selling the advertising and go from there.
Yeah, I guess I'd encourage you to take a look more closely at the type of model that is out there working on billboards today. Yours is different in the sense that you have, your billboard is changing. If I drive down Central Expressway and I encounter one of these digital billboards, it's probably not going to change, I guess. It's going to be in front of me and in my consciousness for about 5 seconds, however long it takes to drive by. It'll be constant. You've got the ability to show a whole series of different ads, 5 seconds apiece, to people, and so you could sell, a lot more advertisers on that one piece of real estate. So that's a difference that maybe you can do something with. So that's my comment.
If you could do a telephone survey or have it done for you and find out some of your folks that are doing this, making money you're talking about, and to get a testimonial on how much they're making, how they're doing it, and then talk to some people that are paying to have ads placed that say it's making money for them, and use that as testimonials, and then go out and hire you a group of salespeople, 1 to sell ads and 2 to sell the machines. Then you got the makings of something to go forward. You're not the salesperson, but they're sure out there. You sure got something unique. It's just it's hard to get your arms around, but it's unique. I've seen his websites. The websites are just absolutely awesome.
You have 2 minutes to comment on the advice.
Well, I'm going to take your advice about the creating the videos. Got to do promo videos too. That's a really good. I never thought about that. That's actually worth coming here. That one piece of advice. That's something I do doesn't cost any money for me. It's labor. So I think that's a really good way to get it into place. And her, of course, all your is. I need to do that for sure. Mm-hmm. And you're right. I mean, I can't sell. I just can't sell. I mean, if somebody tells me they don't have the money, I'm giving it to them. It's just sort of the way it is. That's why I always tell my partner, don't have him call me. Just you do it, you know. So, I mean, that's why I know I have, I can build and create all day. But that business part, someone else needs to do that, and they can utilize me. That's what I've been doing for years. I'm on this side, and I need somebody on that side.
Well, you say you can't sell, but I have to be one of the hardest CEOs to get to. I am not easy to get to at all. And you have, if you will develop this as where we can create my videos and put my videos for my customers, you got your first 60 store sale. So,
I'll
so
definitely
you're the salesman of the year then.
I do it.
But I don't have any money, and I'll need you to pay for everything. So. Everybody, give Darnell a big hand.
If you'd like to present your business or product in the boardroom for advice, and perhaps even an investment, visit www.boardroomlessons.com.